So Trump's tactics are working, and it's great to see. Welcome back to the show. Be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic. So the man on the run in Minnesota who allegedly killed the state representative, her husband, and shot 2 others in their own homes has been arrested. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Where Fox News can now confirm the gunman accused of shooting 2 state lawmakers and their spouses has been arrested. 57-year-old Vance Boelter is accused of assassinating Democratic Minnesota State Representative Melissa Horton and her husband, and severely injuring State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Hoffman and his wife underwent surgery, and the lawmakers' homes were less than 10 miles apart. Investigators say early yesterday morning, Boelter, dressed like a police officer, came out of Hortman's home and fired at police before escaping. We're also learning police found a list of 70 names, including other lawmakers and abortion providers, in Boelter's car. That car also allegedly looked like a police car. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz is calling the shooting a, quote, act of targeted violence.
Yeah, so of course the left-wing media and the liberals are trying to paint this guy as some sort of right-winger, MAGA, Trump supporter, when the state representative who was killed was the only Democrat representative to vote against giving illegals free health care in Minnesota. Now, do you think that's something a Trump supporter would be pissed about, not giving illegals free health care? See, that's why these people who believe this narrative of, oh, he's a right-winger, of course, he's a right-winger. That's just the left-wing media play every single time. Those people are just so stupid and indoctrinated, you know? But the real problem is all the Democrats calling for violence and things like this. Oh, you got to mobilize and blah, blah, blah. All it's doing is leading to things like this. You know, people just getting offed in their homes during the middle of the night by some guy wearing a weird mask and, pretending to be a police officer. It's all these left-wing calls for violence and calls for protests and riots. They just got to end, because this is what it's coming to, folks. People just getting, taken out in their homes in the middle of the night. And it's sickening. It's sickening. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So the No Kings protest pretty much became just one big boomer fest. Go ahead. Here's a little clip of the lunacy.
Yeah. We were just talking about it this morning. No! Don't! Bad boy! Bad! No!
Yeah, so of course this No Kings protest was going to be majority boomers. Boomers have nothing better to do than just sit at home and watch the news all day long, right? Because see, these are cable people who don't want to get rid of their cable, and then basically the only thing really left on cable is the news and some sports. And boomers, they're not really watching too many sports, so their TV's probably just stuck on MSNBC or CNN all day long. And they're just getting blasted with, these left-wing narratives of Trump's a king, Trump's gonna be a king. How do these people believe that crap? The only way you could believe that is if you're some sort of just indoctrinated fool because all you watch is CNN, MSNBC, or you're just that stupid to believe what CNN and MSNBC are spitting at you 24/7, just pure fake news, right? That's what's so crazy. And people, you gotta get on. If you have parents who are boomers, you gotta make sure they're at least watching Fox News, right? Just get them away from any sort of CNN, MSNBC life that they just love to suck down so much, right? And the boomers, the boomers, they need something to do, right? So they any sort of protest, because they were the generation that protested wars, it's just, they have absolutely nothing better to do than to do these types of things, like a No Kings protest, or go hold their stupid signs up, over a bridge so people honk for them. It's pretty crazy how just indoctrinated the whole boomer generation is. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. So the LA Children's Hospital is closing their gender-affirming care programs. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Protesters rallied outside Children's Hospital Los Angeles after the hospital announced it's closing its Center for Trans Youth Health and Development and its gender-affirming care surgical program. The hospital says it's being strained by the Trump policies and the state's budget crisis. The closure is an effort to save federal funding. In an internal memo, the hospital says in part, CHLA continues to face significant operational, legal, and financial risks stemming from the shifting policy landscape at both the state and federal levels. Over the past several months, California's deepening budget crisis, President Trump's executive orders, proposed federal legislation, and rulemaking and growing economic uncertainty have made the situation even more dire. The hospital will be notifying parents over the next few weeks. The Trans Youth Health Center and the surgical program will close July 22nd.
Yeah, so this is a big win for just sanity and, protection of children. Because, see, you got to realize this whole gender-affirming trans thing, it basically starts in California, San Francisco, LA. So if whatever tone they set on the issue, other states will start following California's, direction, right? So if now all of a sudden the Los Angeles Children's Hospital's getting rid of their, gender-affirming care, programs, and they're not going to be, doing any sort of gender-affirming care whatsoever, hopefully it's done in this children's hospital, which, I mean, it's pretty sickening that a children's hospital would be doing this to begin with, completely ruining kids' lives. You would think that the medical industry would be there to protect children, but they're really not, It's just all about making money, and if they can make, money off of affirming genders, then they're going to do it, right? It's basically the whole medical industry now anyways. It's just, we're going to put you on a pill rather than tell you you need to get, you need to start eating better. That's basically the medical industry. It's almost bred out of we can't shame anybody. So we can't tell somebody that you eat terrible, you're sloppy, and you just need to, get some exercise and have a better diet. That would be shaming somebody. So we're just going to put them on a pill. Let them know that, oh yeah, no, there's no problem with you. You just need this pill, right? So it's sickening that the children's hospitals would have been doing this type of thing and to begin with, completely ruining kids' lives. But I mean, this is a total win for sanity, and hopefully it just goes through more states and they start doing the same exact thing because, yeah, Trump's trying to put an end to this, and hopefully they got their funding stripped and it completely just made it so they had to do this because they basically needed their funding back, So Trump's tactics are working, and it's great to see. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. So the Titans put out a Father's Day post on Twitter that they soon deleted because they just go ahead and read it. I'll put it up. But yeah. So they said happy Father's Day to the moms and fatherly figures out there. Now, I would like to think that this is just a typo and some sort of blunder by the social media team. But in 2025, you kind of have to assume that, somebody was doing this on purpose, like, we can't just highlight the fathers. That would be sexist, so we have to give the mothers some credit too. And we're only really going to give credit to fatherly figures. We're not even really going to say to the fathers only. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be not inclusive to everybody who thinks of themselves as a father. Now, if this was 2005, we could just chalk this up as that's just a funny blunder and, just fix it and repost it, right? But see, that's the weird thing. The Titans completely deleted the post and they didn't fix it and repost it, right? You would think if it was just a blunder, there would be like, oh yeah, sorry people, it was just a typo, blunder, but we repost it because we want to give thanks to all the dads out there and celebrate the dads, right? But so if it was a blunder, why wouldn't they repost it, right? So they got a ton of backlash for this. So maybe they were trying to claim for the mothers and they didn't want to be sexist and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Just go ahead and let me know what you think. Do you think this was just an innocent blunder, or do you think this was somebody in the social media team trying to be, virtue signaling and, be righteous and celebrate moms on Father's Day too, right? Who really knows at this point, right? But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you.